Every once in a while, a car comes along that has such great proportions and lines that it lives on for almost 2 decades. These cars are a testament to the power of great timeless design, and one of them is the Chrysler 300C. Personally, I've always been a fan of this car since it first launched back in 2005. I've loved it for a number of reasons, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to show you the first concept that was shown in 2003 and then compare it to the production 2005 model, and you tell me how many changes you can see, if any. Then I'm going to go over the design from the front, side and rear view, which all stay consistent over all these years, and that's something that can't be said of the interior, which thankfully got an update in 2012. I'm going to show you both the old interior and the new interior and show you the changes there, which is pretty significant. And to celebrate the ending of an 18-year-long 300C run, Chrysler is building 2,000 units for the 2023 model year. These will all be powered by a 6.4-liter V8, producing 485 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque. And this will give this old senior Chrysler 0 to 60 time in just 4.3 seconds and a top speed of 160 miles per hour. Pricing for the 2023, the special limited edition 300C, will start at around $56,000. And if you're into design, I think that's a pretty good deal, design and performance as well. So let's jump into Photoshop here. Let's have a look at the gorgeous 300C. Up top we have the 2005 model, and down below we have now the limited 2000 unit 2023 model with the 485 horsepower Hemi V8 down here. I think it's just a beautiful design, and what you can see here, the thing about, I'm going to show you that more in side view. Side view is always the view that I think gives the best overview of a design, so we're going to talk about the proportions more there. But looking at the graphics, it looks so stately. I think it looks great. Even the 2005 model up here, it looks like it has confidence and it has identity in the front end, and I think the facelift kind of emphasized that even more, but in a more modern way, obviously. They didn't really change a lot in the facelift when it comes to the positioning of the graphic features. We still have the grille in the middle right here. We still have headlights. We have a proper bumper here, and we have a clear separation between the top half of the front end and the lower half, just like we have in the 2005 model. I want to show you the concept first of all, the 2003 concept that we have up here. Compare this to the production version, and honestly, I can't seem to find a lot of changes here, and this is one of the reasons why I fell in love with Chrysler and the 300C back in 18 years ago, was because the concept looked almost exactly like the production car. I do wish that they took these wheels though and they implemented those in the production version, because as you can see, they're a little bigger. They fill out the wheelhouses a little better than in the production version. But looking at the changes overall, I don't see a lot of changes here. And this is rare, specifically in the early 2000s, when companies came out with ridiculous concept cars that everybody wanted them to build, and then they came out with something completely different in the production. But that did not happen with the 300C. We do have 2 slots here. This is one change I can see, and 1 slot in the production version. I think the fog light might be a little smaller, but these are just details. Overall, you can barely tell the difference between these two. So I want to show you the side view and why I love these proportions. The thing is, if I were to sketch up a sedan, this is pretty much what it would look like if I were to sketch up, a traditional looking sedan. These lines that we have right here, the greenhouse, the A-pillar going into the wheel, the front wheel hub, as you can see right there, creating nice proportions. We have this thick C-pillar right here, creating more muscle over the rear end, a nice shoulder line. So the thing is, what Chrysler did here is they took these timeless proportions and they updated it with a facelift in 2012, but it still looks like a very, very modern, good-looking car. And that goes to show that if you use traditional, timeless proportions of what a sedan could look like, all you really have to do is update the graphics of the car, and you have a modern-looking car. And that's exactly what Chrysler did here. You can see that the only thing that kind of dates the 2005 model are the graphic features, the taillights, the wheels as well. You have this trim piece in the middle of the door and the front headlights and so on. But if you remove the trim piece in the middle, if you update the taillights, update the front end and the trim pieces, the side mirrors and so on, you get a modern, beautiful looking design, and that goes for the rear as well, as you can see in these pictures right here. I do like this design in the 2005 too. If we were to update these taillights, I think it would still look like a very cool design, just add some LEDs in here, but that's pretty much what they did in the facelift. They made it a little softer in the surfacing, which I think suits this design, and details like that is also what brings it into today's world. You have a new diffuser in the lower part right here, which houses these two tailpipes. It's symmetrical, very traditional as well. And I'm kind of sad that they're gonna drop this model, because I think if they were to just keep updating the graphics on these type of proportions, it would still sell. And I think that's what Chrysler do well. And I think Dodge is the company that does that the best with the Challenger, for example. The Challenger, I think they could sell it until the end of time if they just kept updating the powertrain and the graphics, but keeping the same proportions, because it is, same thing there, a timeless design. So the interior, as I said, this is where the big changes happen, and this is something that Chrysler and pretty much a lot of American companies had issues with in the mid-2000s, and that was the hard plastic all over the interior and the lack of, quality. It didn't really feel quality at this time of Chrysler and other American companies. So this top part right here, you can see we have hard plastic all over this place, and very much mid-2000s styling with the colors and the lines and all the kind of horizontal and vertical lines in the interior, which I don't really have anything against. But when you combine it with the choice of material and the colors, it looks very dated when you look at this 2005. Now look at this. This is a 2023 model, and the thing is, some might think that this looks super dated because the screen is so small. You have analog gauges, but you still have a pretty large screen here in the center and some nice ambient lighting in here. And overall, the choices of material and the quality is night and day between the 2023 and the 2005 model. And the thing is, when I look at this interior, I would, in a lot of cases, I would prefer an interior that looks like this, where we have a small screen and we have analog gauges for the tachometer and the speedometer, and we have a screen in the middle that gives you all the vital information that you need about the car. That's pretty much all I want. I don't necessarily want a big 17-inch TV like every other car has today, and they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, getting more sterile inside. For me, I would definitely prefer to have this type of interior that feels more cozy and it feels warmer than a lot of modern interiors. And that's one of the things that I think maybe we're heading in maybe the wrong direction when it comes to interior design. With all this sterile feel and technology and digital everything, I would much rather have it feel like I'm sitting inside of a cozy room that feels inviting than having all these screens. And I think that's what Chrysler do well with the 2023 model. And I don't see anything wrong with having these kind of dated style of the interior and the formats of the displays. To me, that's actually a benefit. So I'm not sure if Chrysler is going to release a successor to the 300C, or is this is going to be the end of it and they're only going to focus on EVs from now on, which I think would be a shame. I would still like to have more sedans. A lot of companies are dropping sedans now, but hopefully people start to realize the benefit of having a sedan. You still have the space, or even wagons are even better, because you have the space of a crossover SUV, but you're sitting lower to the ground, the center of gravity is lower. It's a lot more fun to drive than all of these boring generic crossover SUVs. So hopefully Chrysler will make some successor to the 300C with these classic proportions. That would be very cool to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.